Horror Deconstruction.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the Horror Deconstruction. You can find us at horrordeconstruction.tumblr.com, youtube.com/horrordeconstruction, as well as facebook.com/thehorrordeconstruction with your host, Alex.
Baboon.
And?
Yeah.
From
Yay, Thea.
From horrorharbor.tumblr.com. And today's film is...
Wicker Man.
Wicker Man.
Well, the Wicker Man.
The Wicker Man, the 2006 film starring Nicolas Cage, directed by Neil LaBute.
LaBute.
It's based on the 1973 film by Anthony written by Anthony Schaefer, and based on the novel what was it called? The Thing?
The Ritual.
The Ritual.
The Ritual.
So this film is about a sheriff investigating the disappearance of a young girl from a small island discovers there's a larger mystery to solve among the island's secretive neo-pagan community.
Wow.
Your thoughts, everybody?
My thoughts of the synopsis or my thoughts of the movie?
All together.
Both are bad.
Well, I like sheriffs. I like Nicolas Cage. You know, he was really good in this movie where he won the lottery. It could happen to you. I loved him in Kick-Ass. Really a bad movie, though, was that fucking Ghost Rider 2. Oh, my God.
Really? Compared to the first one?
Well, I never saw the first one, but the second
one... Because the first one was such a...
The second one is... You know, it's like something else.
I
it's
heard
like
he
the
was
movie me and Alex are reviewing next week. It's bad.
I heard he was a real hothead in that movie. Okay, so this film, does anybody have a history with this film, or is it just known as a really horror
really?
movie?
I thought this was like a movie you liked, Thea. No, you really didn't like it?
No.
Ah.
I haven't even seen the original, actually. Have you?
No.
I've only seen one clip from the original.
I have no interest in movies made before 1975.
But there's so many.
With the exception of The Exorcist.
I've only seen a certain clip. There was this group called the Sneaker Pimps that was active around
6 Feet Under.
So I saw you post that song, or you said something about that song, and I downloaded like their entire discography.
Yeah,
did they have something to do with Wicker Man?
No. They did a song which was thanks for derailing
How
me,
Do?
Danny. Yes, How Do, which is a cover of the song called Willow Song in the original film from 1970, whenever it was. And I saw that clip online because what it is the original guy, whoever the hell it is, I don't know if it's a sheriff. I guess it takes place in London in the original version. And there's a woman singing that song that the Sneaker Pimps cover, but she's singing it while banging her fists against the wall naked. Like, she's just dancing around her room naked, and the guy's in the other room listening to it. And it's like a really bizarre scene, but it's already something way more interesting than what we get.
Sounds like it might be better.
It does. But
I'm sure, honestly, I bet you the original movie is a lot better than this.
And it's just, this had its ups and downs.
There's a lot of people on the message boards. I remember when it first was spoken about being made.
Oh, yeah.
That, you know, they were like, oh, it's going to be sacrilegious to, it's sacrilegious, but sacrilegious, that's a Homer Simpson thing.
Sacrilegious.
To the original version, because I guess the original version is such a not camp, but cult classic, I guess. It could be campy, I don't know. And the thing that really upsetting thing to me about watching this film is I thought the film was directed by the guy who did the very... not homosexual, but homosensual vampire movie, Interview with the Vampire. I always mix the directors up.
Oh, who did direct that?
Here's the thing that upset me greatly. When I saw who directed this, it was Neil LaBute. And I was like, I like Neil LaBute a lot. I like his writing. I mean, if
his name actually means the butt when translated.
Yes.
But he did a movie called In the Company of Men, which stars Aaron Eckhart, and that's why he's in this film for like 3 seconds.
Right.
That's why I was like, why is Two-Face in this movie? Like, for 3 seconds. I thought he was going to be in the movie.
When is he in the movie?
Aaron Eckhart's not in it.
Well,
you were thinking his friend.
No, at the very beginning. Isn't that Aaron Eckhart? That's his buddy?
No.
Well, I wished it was Aaron Eckhart.
So
anyway, he did a movie called In the Company of Men, and he did this film called The Shape of Things, which he does films that are very... And he writes plays, and he also adapts his own plays into films. And his plays deal with a lot of asshole characters, like women or men being either misogynistic or I don't know what the female version of misogynistic is for against men.
They call it a bitch.
No, there's a word for it, and I can't remember what it is.
But if you want to see a horrendously misogynistic film, it's called In the Company of Men, where two guys basically want to fuck over women, so they decide to make a deaf woman fall in love with them, and they fuck her over. And in The Shape of Things, which I won't say at the ending, is Rachel Weisz dates this guy and completely ruins his life. They're two really good films, and
sounds very mean. I don't know if
they're very mean. I mean, when you watch them and you like, I fucking hate.
It would make me like not want to talk to women anymore.
Well, whoever has the opposite.
This movie kind of made me feel that way a little bit.
Yeah.
Whoever has like the opposite of your genitalia, you're gonna like hate them when you see it.
So does he do a lot of like slightly anti-women things?
You know, I don't
in this movie.
No. In his films, no.
I don't know. It's not anti-woman. It's like anti-man.
It's like
no, it's anti-film goer. But yeah. I think with Nilbu, with his films, you could, I guess, see that. I think that's the catch-22 about being a male writer that writes. Yeah, I think he's fucked either way. Like if he writes a strong woman, people are gonna perceive it as her being a bitch because it's a man who wrote it. And then when he writes an asshole man, then they're going to think, oh, he's just using his own voice to talk shit about women. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't help that he writes this version of the film. I don't know how the original version of the film was skewed. Like,
it's not that bad. I mean, you guys are making it very...
No, I don't think it's a horrible movie. I think everybody just has that thing where Nicolas Cage automatically... Myself, I don't know how Nicolas Cage keeps getting work. I think he's a good actor.
I feel like the movie, apart from him, could have been better. But
yeah, I don't really understand what his deal is, because he's not the best actor.
He's not the worst. And I think he said he's hot. But anyway,
is he hot? I guess he's okay.
I don't see it. Here's the thing, for me, I always wonder why Nicolas Cage, like, how does he keep getting work? And I don't think he's a horrible actor. I mean, I like...
If you saw it could happen to you, you would know.
I saw him in, I think, 2 films that I liked. I liked 8mm a lot, which I think we should review sometime down the road. I was very surprised that a movie like that got into theaters, like in mainstream theaters, because it was like an R-rated film about, following snuff films, but I think it was after, like, 7. So I think they kind of like that movie opened the door to make a really creepy, snuff film movie. And anyway, that one, and he did that one, Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, which is a really fucking weird movie. If you want to see Nicolas Cage act crazy, like that's like him acting.
Or Face Off, he's good in that.
Well, that too. But you know what I mean? But his movies don't seem to make money unless they make money overseas. You know what I mean? Because there's actors like that.
He's been in so many movies.
Right, I think he'll just take anything. But he has 3 castles, from what I heard. Like, he actually owns castles with his money.
Good for him.
And his son dresses up like a goth. It's very funny.
He's Big Daddy.
But I won't. Yeah, that's true. He was good in that one too because he did the whole.
He
did the whole like Adam West
adaptation, and he was good way back in Moonstruck.
He was good in Weatherman.
So I hear Weatherman's good. He's good, but I think he just does everything. I think that's what it is, and people give him shit for that because they're like, oh, he's kind of
it's kind of like a joke. You throw a script at him. I should try to get him in my movie.
I would think if I was an actor, like if I wasn't such a, like how Brad Pitt only chooses one movie every 5 years, like fuck that. Why wouldn't you want to play? It's almost like the same thing with who's that guy Ben?
Yeah, but he can do that because people will pay him ridiculous amounts of money.
Yeah, but when you're already like a multi-millionaire, it's not at that point. It shouldn't be about money anymore. Now just do whatever you feel like.
It's like
that's why Bill Murray is in a college film of him walking slow motion down a hallway.
Who's that actor, Ben, the bald guy, he's going to be in Iron Man 3, the bad guy? He plays Gandhi.
Benedict.
Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley, right. Like, he's been in every movie, too. And, he kind of gets the same shit, but he doesn't get it as bad as Nicolas Cage.
I heard he plays Wednesday Addams.
Because I think he has, like, an accent. But he was in Uwe Boll, the guy who did House of the Dead. He did a movie about some vampire girl. And he only did that shitty movie because he wanted to play a vampire, and that's what I think Nicolas Cage does. Like Nicolas Cage, I don't give a fuck really much about what Nicolas Cage does with his movies. I respect him for being a weirdo and doing whatever he wants to do with the film. You know what I mean? Like I think there are outtakes on the Ghost Rider 2 where he actually wears skull face paint to get into character, and you're like, okay, if you want to commit to the role like that. But anyway, so what do you guys think initially about Nicolas Cage's performance in this film?
Well, I think I'm the only one that's going to say anything positive. I think it's like pretty good. There's some points where he's like, he's kind of like not a good actor, but then other points are like, he's a really good actor.
Yeah, no, I thought he was good. I mean, there's parts where you can tell where he probably went off script, like they told him to.
I think it's just a bad script.
I think that's part of it.
Which is really surprising because Neil LaBute is such a I hate saying that motherfucker's name. He's such a good writer.
Just
and
say
then,
the butt.
LaBute.
Yeah, the butt. Come on.
He's such a good writer, but then when you see lines like the shit that drives me nuts in films is when people say lines that you wouldn't hear colloquially.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, she's a smart one. You wouldn't hear it regularly in the street, like
It's the hardest one to say.
as opposed to say it is to it's. Do you know what I mean? That kind of
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I couldn't understand somebody in England
the
saying that.
The language of it was stilted, and I guess it's sort of supposed to be like that because they're in this weird place, and most of them talk weird. But it just came off as fake.
I don't think any of them really spoke that weird though. Like it wasn't like The Village where they were just saying, speaking oldie time. You know what I mean?
It was just like, I don't know. The writing
It was like forced.
Yeah.
This film to me, like, it made me appreciate Kill List so much more. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Did you see Kill List? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No, Danny. Did you watch it, Danny? I don't know. Who did I record the episode?
Sorry, Danny.
You know
but
what? Fine.
Well, I missed it. Did you watch it?
I did.
So I mean, I don't know if you liked it or not, but in Kill List,
I really liked that one. Actually, it was really good.
To me, it handled it more. But I think the problem with this is that there's no surprise that it's gonna be.
So it's so obvious, and it's
right.
Like, but you know what? I actually was surprised only because I kept thinking something has to happen to stop this,
and nothing happens.
It doesn't. It just happens.
But that's kind of like how Kill List is. Kill List owes its film to The Wicker Man. There's no question about that. But with this, I think most people won't be surprised because it is a remake, and I'm sure they've seen the original version, and that's why they went to go see this one.
Yeah.
But there was just nothing that gave it any real mystery to it. Like, the guy's gonna die, and whatever happens.
Well, I didn't realize at first it was all a setup.
Oh, okay.
I thought that they were gonna. I knew that these people were fucked up, and they were gonna sacrifice the daughter, is what I was thinking. And then I realized pretty soon that, oh wait, actually, maybe they're gonna kill him. But then they saved him from the bees, so then that confused me.
And then drowning as well. But it felt like such a weak setup to sacrifice him. They were like, we have to... Like, he's a guy that has to prove himself to be killed, to be martyred.
I was like, so why are you going through all this song and dance of, like...
Well, they had to wait till the correct day for the ritual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but
they could have just, like, had him wait around and been like, oh, here she is.
I think the whole point is... Yeah, I think the whole point was for him to, like... prove himself over 2 days or 3 days he was there.
This magical journey of investigation.
It seems like a pretty weak plot twist because I remember
I'm not into cop stuff too much.
I love cop stuff.
I do sometimes. Like, I guess I like Dexter a lot, but I was bored for like the first 40 minutes, and then it started picking up, and I was like, oh, cool. And then, and then it was kind of predictable, but pretty cool. I don't know. It was pretty cool.
I think one of the why it's like such a weak plot twist to me is because it reminded me of this audiobook that I listened to. I think it was called Infected. It's something about like zombies, right? So these people are hunting down zombies, and at the end of the novel, the guy he figures out that he's part of this whole plan to stop the zombies, and he's working with this whole crew, and they're like. They tell him. He asks them, "Why didn't you guys tell me from the beginning?" And he says, "Oh, we just wanted to make sure you were the right guy to do it." And it's like, it had no movement in the plot at all. Like, why would people keep information from you?
Because then there couldn't be a movie.
Yeah, but there's no. But
well, I mean, if in that when it gets there, oh, by the way, we're gonna.
No, but I'm saying in that particular book, it's like if they would have told him, nothing would have changed the cycle of the book. In this, he's wasting his time looking for this girl, and that could have probably just gone down in one day. But that's just like the background story. You know what I mean? I guess it's a way to make the plot move for the storyline.
So actually, the entire movie is pointless in a way.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at because but whatever. I guess that's what you got to fill an hour and a half of film time with, and you'd figure. I think they got LaBute up there to. Why do you think they would hire LaBute? Why do you think they would hire a guy like him who's pretty... I mean, you guys aren't familiar with his work, but his track record with, like, male and female dynamics, because the
Something involving butts, I'm sure. I mean, who better to ask?
The film is very heavily skewed to making these women look like like bitches at the end, especially how Nicolas Cage at the end. I guess
I was hoping he was going to shoot that fucking old woman that played Carrie's mom. Not Carrie's mom. I'm sorry. Reagan's mom.
Yeah.
That was her, right?
Oh, that was her, right? Or
No,
the one.
it's just
Yeah,
an actress
no.
that looks kind of like her.
I'm pretty sure.
oh no,
it
no,
was
it's
her.
not. I think I know who you're talking about. I don't think that was her.
I want to look it up. But anyway, that woman.
You talking about Ellen Burstyn?
Yeah, I wanted her to get shot in the head the whole time.
I was waiting for him to do that until his
What's that
wife.
noise right there?
I don't know. It wasn't me.
Might have been
Ellen Burstyn. I'm looking it up.
Ellen Burstyn.
Exorcist. Chris McNeil. I'm right.
She was the mom.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, and The Exorcist.
Was she hot in
Yeah.
The Exorcist?
I thought you said Carrie. Sorry, I thought you said Carrie's mom.
I did say that first, and then I realized what I meant. And
What?
yeah.
A
Okay,
fucking-
right, yes.
No, but
She
the
is-
character's
yeah,
mom
she
is
did
in
great.
Twin Peaks.
Who?
Carrie's
Yeah.
mom is in Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
You don't care about Twin Peaks, so
It's all right.
I don't give
we
a
won't
fuck
bore you
about
with
that
it.
shit.
I think this movie was kind of disappointing also because I felt like the directing, despite the writing, like his writing was bad, but the directing was kind of good sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it had really nice
and
shots.
And visually, it was really visually the movie was really nice to look at.
There was a part though, 45 minutes. I was like, this isn't so bad. Like 45 minutes into it, but the part when he goes to the dock and he thinks he sees the young girl submerged under the water, and then
Yeah, what was with
and then he
all
wakes
that?
up. Then he wakes up and the camera pulls really fast away, and he has her in his arms. Then he wakes up again, and I was like, wow, that's really horrible.
Oh, yeah, the double wake up. Oh my
That was-
god!
I mean-
All those, I didn't. Maybe I'm just stupid. I didn't really
that's true.
understand the significance of the truck scene in the beginning, and then the whole all the nightmares about. I get it. He's connecting the girl to that
that's right.
girl, but
Because
what-
the whole point is that he lost that little girl, so he in this journey he's trying to
That's
save
the thing.
another girl. I think is the whole point.
I,
of
don't,
that.
I just kept thinking, is there some kind of was that supernaturally Rowan in that truck or something?
I thought
that's
that
what
too,
I didn't really understand the emphasis on it.
From
It was
seeing
kinda
the trailer or anything, because the little girl looked pretty much as similar to his daughter, but even though his daughter's like about 5 years younger than her.
And his daughter's such a bitch. She's just set him up.
But that's their whole family, or whatever those girls.
Who knows
telling
if
them.
it's really his daughter? I think it is, but
Imagine if she was like a biracial kid and Nicolas Cage's kid. That's not my kid, and he just swims home.
just
When the credits come.
just that black girl.
And then, but then also, what's stupid when he's on the boat? Like, why did they use the money shot of the girl getting hit by the truck? You know what I mean? Like, in the waking life, while he's actually awake? And then just reuse it knowing that that's going to happen in his dream later on in the same night? I don't know. It was just kind of stupid.
I think all the flashbacks were pointless, except to basically. I think the only reason they were there was so that when you saw those two women, the woman and her daughter at the end, that you were like, oh, they were in on it.
I think they just wanted to... Oh, were they actually in there?
Yeah.
Were they?
The car
Right
woman?
right at the end when they're showing where they're talking about they're telling him how they did it basically.
Oh, boy.
They pan,
I didn't
they
even...
pan over and
That was the daughter and mom.
it was the daughter and the mom and the cop, the lady
Right.
cop that he was working with.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
You telling me a
Wait,
cop...
the lady cop?
Yep, she was in on it too.
They really did not pay attention to that shit.
Wow, I guess by that point I just didn't care anymore.
I guess so too, because I mean, they have a lady cop from DC move
that,
all the
that
way
actually
to.
makes me kind of like the movie a little more.
Right?
Yeah, I was expecting to see them all, but
Because that
by,
was the most
Watch it.
unexpected part for me. I was like, oh, they were in on it.
I was expecting all those women to be there at the end, but I by the end of it I forgot and didn't give a shit, so I didn't notice
But
anything.
how do you fake dying in an explosion?
That's
for
what I
instance?
didn't understand.
The truck was a woman too. It just turned into
Yeah.
that big fat lady. The
Yeah.
She's a transformer.
yeah, the fake Kathy Bates. But
And then what's it called? You know who annoyed me the most was that old redheaded woman.
Frances Conroy.
yeah, I was like, holy shit,
right.
that's the lady from American Horror Story. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
And from 6 Feet Under.
I was
and all
hoping
kinds.
she would turn.
No,
in-
not her.
I was hoping she would turn into the
I'm
young
talking about
Mike.
the photographer.
That's
I'm
her.
talking about
Oh.
the old short-haired old lady.
Oh, the witch at the beginning of the who?
Yeah, she's
needs
at the
him?
beginning, and there's another scene. She's like, when he walks in, she's like, "I'll talk to you later." And I want to kill her.
Oh yeah. I didn't know that. But she wasn't in it very long.
Danny
so I don't know.
has-
I was like, what are you talking about?
Danny
Yeah.
has aunt issues or something.
Hell,
Yeah.
there's people I don't like.
Who
Oh,
did you
God.
like? Because I know who I liked.
I liked Sister Rose,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
thing is, I
A
think
lot.
guys, I looked this up just now. I mean, you know already, I said it, but that is what's his face's what the hell is his name? Travis's sister from Dexter season 6.
I think me and Thea have similar tastes in girls that look like actually like complete bitches or something like that.
Maybe.
I don't like that.
Because I think
Something about that very severe outfit she was wearing.
Yeah, that was pretty flashy at the end. But I think it's funny because you like the what's her name from The Walking Dead, right? Michonne, right? And she's kind of like that severe tough chick, and this girl's kind of like
look very angry all the time or bitchy.
Because I like that too. It was just the squinty eye. You're like, oh, you bitch. I'm in love with you.
But I like Andrea too.
Well, that's true. You do?
I don't like
She's
Andrea
an idiot,
at all. Andrea frustrates the shit out of
We
me.
had this conversation. I know you don't like her.
Okay, what about Lily Sobieski, who's like the very hot version of
You know who I like?
Helen
I like
Hunt.
Angel's sister from Dexter.
Oh yeah, I would have figured they would have killed her a long time ago. Okay, let's get back to the
she's
movie.
cute. Yeah.
So Lily Sobieski's around there too. It's funny because I would have thought Lily Sobieski, she's playing Sister Honey. I figured she would have gotten like bigger in film or something by then, but I guess not. Right? She just kind of like stayed around. She's kind of like Chloe Sevigny in a way, but
She's
less.
doing kind of random stuff.
She was in a cop show and she's like 30 pounds. Like what the fuck is that? She has a thing where she got a lot of shit for looking like Helen Hunt.
She's the one that he kicked, right?
Yeah, he karate kicks her. That was pretty awesome. You know what I was wishing during this movie? I wish like the movie was like they took a comedic angle with it. Actually, I know it's like
I think a lot of it, honestly,
in the Wicker Man burning. Like,
I don't think it was on purpose to be funny at all. And Nicolas Cage says that. He says watching it now, you can see stuff that makes it hilarious. Which somebody else would probably been like, "Oh, this movie was serious." But like, if this movie had can you imagine if it was like Will Ferrell like doing it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even a Will Ferrell like fan, but if he was in this movie, like, and he acted the same way, I would fucking love it. This movie would have been like a million times better.
See,
you can see it. You know what I mean?
went into this movie knowing I was going to laugh at it because a friend of mine went to see it in theaters when it came out.
Oof.
And I did not hear the end of that. She was just like, "Oh my god, I cannot believe I spent money on it."
Yeah, I know. I think it's the whole Nicolas Cage meme thing. You know, I hate using that word. But it's the whole, once somebody's in something, then it's like gonna be, you're expecting it to be awful. Do you know what I mean?
But he's not awful.
I know, that's what I say. I don't think I think people have been listening to this episode, you guys are assholes for not shitting on it.
She thought it was gonna be like a serious horror movie, which is why she went.
Which I think they did.
Yeah.
But there's so much dumb shit in this film that it's like, why? Like, once Nicolas Cage...
I think South Park based an entire episode on it, though, with that Britney Spears episode.
Oh, when the top of her head comes off and she's just, like, gurgling through the whole episode.
Oh, God.
But,
I love that.
Well, there was a character called Sister Beach. Oh, like Beach Nuts? I thought it was going to be like a sister, like a Mexican bitch or something like that. Anyway, what else can we say about this film? What did you guys think about the pacing?
It was pretty slow.
It was slow in the beginning.
It felt like it was slow, and then just the ending just came.
All of a sudden, yeah. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because it didn't feel like there wasn't much revelation going on. Like when he goes to the classroom, and I thought that was interesting. He goes to the classroom and he sees that there was an empty table. Stuff like that was pretty neat.
The crow comes out of the desk.
And as soon as he walks out, the crow, it sounds like the crow used a fucking megaphone to squawk at them again. It was so cheap. I don't know what LeButt needs to stay away from fucking horror movies. He needs to go back to like Women and Men. The butt. He needs to stay away from horror movies because you can tell it's somebody that thinks they have to write in a scary scene every 5 minutes. Because like, were you really like scared when he's in the fucking attic and falling through the floor? No, isn't that scary about that? Who was going, oh my god.
Why is this scene even in this?
Can you imagine people in the movie theaters watching like, oh my god, they're gonna kill Nicolas Cage 5 minutes into the movie. I can't believe it. Like falling through a floor. That's how they're gonna kill Nicolas Cage in a movie?
That would be a cool idea if he died that
They did
way.
that to Steven Seagal in the movie, like in the first 10 minutes. He got sucked out of
he
there.
was into a coma, right?
No. He was in this movie called Executive Decision where they sold the movie as like Steven Seagal and Kurt Russell kicking ass on a plane. And the first 10 minutes into the movie, he gets sucked out of the plane and dies. It's fucking awesome. So you're like, hey, wait, they just killed Steven Seagal. Like, there's no way he could come back from that shit.
That's kind of cool.
But
I saw a movie where he's in a coma for the first like half hour of the movie, and then he goes out and he does like all like Rocky train
That's Above the Law. That's the one where he's talking to a TV set by himself. And the TV set is like a criminal, like a guy who's trying to be a politician, and he goes
in real life he's a real scum.
And the politician says in the commercial, the politician says,
Steven Seagal.
The politician says, "I'm going to take you to the bank, right?" And then Steven Seagal, like by himself to the TV, he says, "I'm going to take you to the bank, the blood bank."
Oh god,
Beautiful.
That was awesome. Anyway, so with the butt, what did you guys think of the dialogue of the film? And do you think women look bad because of this movie, or you think it's not even an issue?
Thea, you first. You're a woman.
I mean, they make women look crazy.
Does it make you look crazy? Are we going to judge you harshly for it?
You assume that I'm a crazy cult person now, right?
Were you offended as a woman watching this movie?
I think you're different than these women, but I think that these women represent most women, but I think Thea is like one of the rare exceptions.
I'm like an exception.
Did I say colloquialism? Yeah. I finally got it right, but go ahead. Thea.
There we go. I don't know. I don't think I took it seriously enough to feel like it was like a saying.
You think victim women in movies are way worse portrayals than this movie?
Yeah. I don't think it was a huge issue. I thought it was kind of funny that they were like, yeah, these men and the men in their town are like so like terrified of like whatever is going to be done to them.
Did some of them have Down syndrome or something? Because I think one of them seemed like really slow.
With their tongues or something.
What was wrong with those two ones? Those really scary ones.
I don't know. I think they're like I didn't get the whole bee analogy until like 40 minutes into the movie. You know, worker. I was like, oh, that's really obvious. Like worker drones and the queen bees and all that stuff. And then they say, kill the drone at the end. I was like, oh yeah.
And I feel like if they had made that stronger from the get go, like it could have been kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know what would be cool if they all dressed in bee costumes?
They did really just in costumes.
And then
costumes,
they run backwards against them because they have like the stingers on their butts. Yeah, and they try to kill them that way.
Instead of stingers, they have like fucking double-headed dildos. And, like,
no, they have.
One end's coming out of
they have.
Can we get through one episode without mentioning?
They have syringes. They have syringes full of freshly made AIDS typed to their ass and just run after them.
And also asked how I thought the dialogue was, which I think is terrible.
They'll be fucking each other in the vaginas with their dildos.
Jesus, all right, enough. What do you think was the worst spook in the film? Like the worst scare? Oh, is that racist? The worst scary part in the movie? To me, it was a woman bursting into bees. That was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
I would have rather had her turn into an actual huge bee and attack him instead of a million bees, which she doesn't read on screen. She turned into dust, like a Michael Jackson video or something. That was probably the worst special.
I'm still thinking about the dildos thing.
Do you need a moment?
But anyway, so ultimately, do you guys think it's as awful as people say it is?
It's not as awful as you guys are making it sound.
Yeah, I think it's awful for the fact that it's not a cohesive film. Like I understand it's point A, B, and C kind of movie, but it's not interesting enough to make it watchable. You know what I mean? Nicolas Cage is enough to kind of keep you watching a film because you're expecting them to do cartwheels in a scene or something. But it's
I would recommend this movie if somebody was like, I'm really bored. Do you have anything? And like, if this was on Netflix, I'd be like, maybe watch
I would recommend it for a laugh. I think I laughed at it a little bit.
It might be a lot better if you're drunk watching it, right?
That would be good too.
I think that's what it is. Like you got to take shots whenever.
Yeah, if you're on drugs or something.
But
how about you have
really hard
shot
drugs.
Every time Nicolas Cage starts yelling?
Yeah, that's true. He starts yelling about 45 minutes into the movie. He starts getting upset with the women, especially Sister.
I like when he yells.
My favorite line is "Step away from the bike."
Yeah, when he seizes the bike.
That was like out of Grove Street, like from Grand Theft Auto. It's just like a.
Oh God.
Let me ask you, Thea. Are you attracted to Lara Flynn Boyle?
She's okay.
Okay.
Like in the
she's
she
too
has
nice
that
looking.
annoying Molly Parker look, and I don't like that look in a woman.
She's
What the
similar,
fuck is
but
everybody talking
I don't know.
about?
I feel like Lara Flynn Boyle looks like a little faker.
I think they're both so annoying looking, and I hated Donna.
Molly Parker is lovely.
Are you guys talking about Twin Peaks right now?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Jesus, I'm ending this episode.
hate it.
Okay, what's
No,
the rating,
you're also
everybody?
You're just saying that Molly Parker looks like sort of like severe, I guess.
Who's Molly Parker? Who
She's
cares?
Yeah, Sister
They
Rose.
canceled that show for a reason, guys. Anyway. So,
They
She
finale.
wasn't on Twin Peaks, don't worry about it.
so guys,
You know what? Twin Peaks is way better than you ever talk about.
So what are your ratings on the film, guys?
Okay. You first, Thea.
Okay. I'm gonna give it 5 B hoods out of 10.
Yeah, those are pretty cool B-hoods.
B-hoods?
I thought they were just women with like Slipknot masks. These women that the severe hoods. Then I realized that those were B masks.
I thought you meant like the letter B. I'm like, what is she saying?
It was B for bitches. Bitches! By the way, do you think they try to make Nicolas Cage look bad by calling them bitches at the end, like he was a misogynist? Like they weren't trying to get that point across? Because a lot of people were trying to say, oh...
It's like, this is why we did it, because at the end, all men will come down to this kind of name-calling.
I think that's what it is. Like, a lot of reviews are saying, oh, he's a misogynistic character. And I was like, I didn't see that at all. I think, but because he's punching... Yeah, I know, he's not, because he's punching girls in the face.
This crazy woman come, steal his heart, leave him, then rope him into getting...
But also, okay, the entire premise did not make sense, because that woman would never, like, it was obvious, it was like, she's tricking him, because look at her. Look at her.
She's crazy, yeah. And I like her lips, but one of them is too big.
Which one?
Her top.
Okay.
Bee-stung
like it.
lips, Danny, get it?
Strange.
I'll give it
what?
a...
She put a vagina on her mouth?
I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
Do you think that's possible, to transfer a vaginal lip to your regular lips if you ever lost your lip?
About that.
Come on, you know it's kind of a cool
like
idea.
a moose knuckle lip? Is that what it is? Alright, so I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Big city woman cop turning into bees.
Okay. And I gotta rewatch it now because I gotta see that those people are in the end scene. I didn't catch.
I meant to ask, did you guys watch the regular version or the unrated version?
What's the difference?
Well, I don't know all of the differences, but there is one particular scene that they cut out at the very end. There's a scene where you know how you hear them breaking his legs?
Oh, do they show it?
Yeah.
There's an actual, they show them breaking his legs, but also they put like a little basket around his head and they pour bees into it. And
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see that version.
Yeah, you need to see that.
They pour beans on his head.
Actually.
What do the beans mean?
It's his reaction is like, oh, what are you doing? What is that? What is that? Oh, the bees.
Oh, I gotta see that then, because I know the parts with the bee. You said the bees or the beans?
Bees.
Oh, I thought you said
beans.
I thought you said beans. I was like, why would they pour beans on this?
And all, but Jesus Christ.
Oh, I did see the bees falling. Is that because my eyes? They're in my eyes. That part? Yeah, I saw that. So, Danny, what's your rating?
Let me give my rating here. I'm going to give this movie a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10.
Oh, boy.
I can't even think of a noteworthy. 6 out of 10. I really just don't one as you as the woman turning into bees.
Very good. Okay, so with that, what our next film is of demonic origin.tumblr.com recommended a 2007 film called The Devil's Chair.
Thanks for that.
So with that, Danny, what's the final word?
Boogity, 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 boogity.
The horror deconstruction.